And then after that, he swore that he wouldn't rest until he put me in the ground. Dang. All of this for just stealing his star in Mario Party? Well, it's my older brother, you know how he is. Totally. Oh, but I've been meaning to ask you about this party you invited me to. What's the occasion? It's the new year. It's gonna be 2026. Gonna be. It's the end of February. New Year was 2 months ago. Did you write this video in 2025 but were too lazy to work on it until now? Today is the end of the old year and the start of the new year in the next 10 seconds. Alright, well even if you disregard everything that I just told you, that clock's not working. What? Your clock stopped at 10 seconds before midnight. It's the middle of the day! You forgot the most important thing. What did you forget? The year can't end because I forgot to give the year an ending theme. You probably just need to change your clock's batteries, and besides, 2025 already I need to find the greatest ending theme from a video game, otherwise we'll be stuck in 2025 forever. I already told you it's the end of February. Yep. That's the narrative justification for this video existing. Before I start this list, I want to lay down the general criteria that I'm judging these songs on. 1. The piece itself. Is it a song I can listen to on its own? How much do I enjoy listening to it? 2. The narrative weight. Does the theme resonate with the story of the game I've just played? And how does the ending theme support that game? 3. Satisfaction. This could technically fall under the previous point, but I want to be clear on how satisfied the ending makes me after playing the game itself. Alright? Alright, let's start this off with... Persona 4 is a great game with an equally great narrative. One of my favorite things about the Persona series as a whole is how, upon doing everything and completing the game, every character gets an ending to their arc, from the main characters to the side characters. So when the credits start rolling with the song Nevermore playing alongside, I can't help but feel, dang, that was a really good game. I think I like this song a lot because a part of it works I'll Face Myself into the main melody. The main song that plays when you save someone from their shadow plays at the very end of the game. It's not that deep, but it still makes it really enjoyable to think about. Now, I didn't understand the Japanese lyrics to this song until making this video, but to summarize, the lyrics are about remembering the good memories that you had with friends, never truly being alone because of them. It's a nice little piece of knowledge that makes me appreciate this song that much more. I'll be honest, I just like this song because of its melody, and it's higher up on this list than Nevermore because I listen to this one significantly more when it comes up in my playlist. The English lyrics are supposed to be about Cloud's inner feelings, and they're good lyrics, but every time I listen to it, I focus more on the melody than the lyrics. And I'm a sucker for a good melody. And the harmonica part, as well as this part right here that I don't know what to call, are just really nice to listen to.
It's actually quite nice.
Hollow Knight's ending is interesting, to say the least. I absolutely love this game, and I love basically every one of the musical pieces in it. And then you get to the ending theme. For a bit of context, while I understand the story of Hollow Knight, for a brand new player it's vague at best. So after you go through the entire game exploring the kingdom, beating difficult boss after difficult boss, you finally finish the game by getting one of the many different endings. Most likely the easiest ending first if you're playing the game for the first time. Nope, I don't get it. And the ending music perfectly encapsulates that. It's not necessarily a satisfying song, nor does it give you an upbeat, woo, you beat the game kind of feeling. If anything, the song itself is kind of unnerving. It makes you feel like you have more questions than answers, and I personally really like that. It makes you want to go back and continue playing the game and try and see if there's anything you missed, which is very likely. In short, this is a song that both fits the ending and doesn't at the same time. That's probably one of the most fascinating things that an ending theme can do. I've been playing Pokemon games since I was 3 or 4 years old, and at this point, I'll probably keep playing them until either I die or the series does. And honestly, it'll probably be me that goes first. Most Pokemon games follow a familiar, even repetitive rhythm. Beat the champion, enter the Hall of Fame, and roll credits with a celebratory track. Sometimes the theme is triumphant, sometimes the theme is quiet. It works and it feels good, but it's also extremely consistent. Almost every game in the series hits that same emotional beat in the same place. Black and White decided to do something different. When you finally reach the Pokemon League, you discover that N, the main rival and antagonist, beat you there and became champion first, which might make the longtime players of this franchise say,
"What?"
From there, the game throws you into an extended endgame, an awesome final dungeon, capturing the game's legendary Pokemon, a confrontation with the new champion, and then the true final battle. This is probably one of my favorite ending sequences in a Pokemon game. And instead of immediately celebrating, the game gives you a somber farewell theme that reflects N's nature of being both antagonist and rival. A fitting goodbye, before launching into a more epic high-energy credits track. I really like this ending because it actually feels tailored to the story of Black and White. The song itself is solid, but the context around it does most of the heavy lifting. It may be a bit lower on the list, but it's still one of the most memorable Pokemon endings that this series has ever had, and that's saying something with a franchise that largely does not change. This ending is a certified internet classic from probably one of my favorite games of all time. Portal 2's Want You Gone straddles the line between serious and comedic, and it absolutely works to make a banger for the ages. A lot of people prefer Portal 1's Still Alive ending, and while I do love that song, I just prefer Want You Gone for a couple of reasons. First, and most basically, I just like the melody more. It has a more techno feel to it, and it's just my personal preference. Second, I think this works more as an ending song than Still Alive because, hilariously, it's basically a breakup song with as much sarcasm as an AI can muster. And I know that Still Alive had sarcasm in it as well, but again, it just comes down to personal preference. Side note, this doesn't have to do with the song itself, but it reminds me a lot of You'll Be Back, one of my favorite songs from the musical Hamilton. A sarcastic, comedic breakup song that still goes really hard by itself. But regardless if you think Still Alive or Want You Gone is the better ending song, one of the best things about these two is Ellen McLain as GLaDOS. While this ending is still really good, it wouldn't be nearly as good if it didn't have the charm of GLaDOS' robotic, personality-filled voice. And yes, I'm aware of how contradictory that sounds, but that's just the nature of Portal. Up next is the ending theme for the video game Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. Wait, no, don't close out the video! Please don't close out the video, hold on! Okay, this might seem like a really strange choice, and this game is one of 2 on this list that I'm pretty confident no one has heard of, but let me summarize. You play as Billy Hatcher, a kid who gets isekai'd into a world inhabited by chickens. He's tasked with saving the land from perpetual night from evil crows, and he does this by putting on a chicken suit, which allows him to roll giant eggs to crush his enemies.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it is, but that's kind of the appeal. It's a ridiculous adventure with ideas, characters, and locations that feels like it was thought up by a child. It was a fun time when I played it in middle school, and it was still fun when I replayed it for this video. And the ending theme, titled Chant This Charm, reflects that. It's a piece that has a fascinating middle ground of being happy without being overbearing, and subdued enough without being somber. It feels like a song straight out of a children's show, and honestly, when you have a game that's whimsical like this one while still being, at least to me, a good game, you get something really nice. I miss the more lighthearted whimsy that you don't see a whole lot in today's game and film atmosphere. This ending fills that need, and it's a great way to end this adventure. Alright, I have a confession to make. One of the songs that I initially put on this list was Without You from Shadow Generations. It's an awesome rock ballad that delves into the character of Shadow the Hedgehog from a non-edgy standpoint, and I thought it was an awesome way to end the game. But when I went back through the game to get footage for this video, I remembered one teensy weensy but ever so crucial little tiny detail. It's not an ending theme! I could have sworn this track played in the credits of this game, but when I looked it up, I found it was restricted to the Dark Beginnings animations, which shocked me. But thankfully, I have an alternative. There's a lot of things that Sonic fans disagree on, and it's really easy for non-Sonic fans to dunk on the Sonic franchise. But one thing that's universally praised about the Sonic series is its music. I would personally make the argument that Sonic consistently has some of the best music in video games, period, and the Sonic ending piece I chose for this list is One Way Dream from Sonic Frontiers. I wonder how many times I said Sonic in that last paragraph. Now, interestingly, you only get to hear this ending if you clear the game on hard difficulty, which includes a final bullet hell boss that isn't in the lower difficulties. Otherwise, you would get the ending Vandalize, and Vandalize is a good song, but in my opinion, it doesn't fit that well as an ending theme. So not only is One Way Dream a great way to end this game, but it also acts as a reward for the player for going beyond simply beating the game. The thing about One Way Dream is that it sounds like an ending theme. I've mentioned that a lot of good ending themes have some kind of quiet tone to them, but this is a Sonic game! We can't have that! We gotta go all in on this! Boost your spirit off the ground. I'm a spark that won't go out. We can go much higher. Well, what are you doing? Just listening to a little music, Dad?
Why don't you come inside and read a book?
Yeah, I'll do that. Into the Light is everything I want in an ending theme. It caps a really fun final boss fight of the Octo expansion campaign. It has a slower tone than most other tracks in the game, but it never gets into the somber territory, which works for Splatoon as a whole. While the visuals for this ending are really simple, they're also extremely effective. You spend the entire campaign fighting through the underground to get to the surface, and it ends on your character essentially seeing a sunrise for the first time. It's also fun how it's basically a song that's sung by the pop star characters Pearl and Marina. When Pearl's rap section plays, it acts as an excellent contrast to the quieter melody as a whole. Splatoon's music has always been a blast to listen to, but this was the first ending song from this franchise that I really loved to listen to on its own. This is probably the most 2000s ending song that will be on this list, but between you and me, that's one of the most fun things about it. Drawn to Life is a game that I guarantee almost no one watching this video will be familiar with, but it's a solid platformer with the gimmick of being able to draw your character, the weapons you use, even the environment around you to an extent. When I played it as a 15-year-old, the ending was one that I constantly listened to on my short morning drive to work. But this ending isn't on this list for purely nostalgic reasons, no. It's a duet between two of the lead characters after everything that happened in the story. I am a sucker for duets like this, and the fact that it has a bit of romance in it just barely warms my largely cynical heart. Alright, that's a lie, I don't really have a cynical heart, but I still really love this ending. The song also plays over the ending scene that shows flashbacks in an anime style to different moments throughout the game, leading to a crescendo with the two characters getting back together at the song's end. You may ask, Will, isn't this a little cheesy of a selection to put on the best ending themes list? To which I would respond, your mom's a little cheesy! Got him! I don't even know if I can keep that in the video. Okay, while this game has technically two ending songs, for the purposes of this list, I'm gonna be focusing on the latter one. After you get the big name credits accompanied by Simple and Clean, an incredible song in its own right, you get March Caprice, which is one of the more complex pieces as a whole on this list. It starts quiet and even somber, accompanied by a handful of scenes that shows the various Disney and Final Fantasy characters and what they're doing after the worlds have been saved, giving an interesting feeling of closure. Then the piece crescendos into this sweeping movement, which feels more appropriate for an epic adventure. It then has the marching drum come in, which gives this piece its name, and it keeps that overall momentum and tone for the rest of the credits. You wouldn't normally get this sort of music for a video game, at least at the time of this game's release. It feels like something out of a high-class film with music by John Williams or Howard Shore. Kingdom Hearts 1 is probably one of my top 10 favorite video games, and the music by Yoko Shimomura definitely plays a large part in that. Finishing the first game with a piece that sounds like it's from a Carnegie Hall orchestra instead of just a simple song or already existing track from the game is a huge win, and a great way to finish this masterpiece of a game. I really like The Legend of Zelda, and of all the Legend of Zelda games, one of my personal favorites is Phantom Hourglass. I know a lot of people don't like Phantom Hourglass, but I personally really do. It was my very first Zelda game, and it's stuck with me ever since. And when you beat the game, you get this cool paper cutout sequence that shows the events of the game with an orchestral fanfare accompanying it.
But well, this is just the ending music from A Link to the Past with a slight variation.
To which I say,
You are correct, sir!
but guess what? I'm a Gen Zer who hasn't played A Link to the Past, and I just like this version of the song better. You know how a lot of songs on this list have had a slower pace and tone? This is one of the endings that's a sweeping fanfare that picks you up, slaps you in the face, and screams, "You did it! You saved the world!" And then there's a cutscene right after the credits that ends with another little tune. And while it's technically a completely different song, it's one of my personal favorite ending sequences in a video game. It's a shortened version of the Ocean Kings theme that includes the Zelda main theme, and in my opinion, it is one of the most satisfying endings in the entire Zelda franchise. Okay, this is a newer song relative to literally every other piece on this list, but I've heard it enough times to have an opinion on it, and while this may be a recency bias, I still love this song enough to put it this high. To say that Breaking Through is the main theme of Donkey Kong Bonanza is technically correct, however this song plays during the end credits, so I'm putting it on this list. This song is absolutely incredible. The game itself is absolutely incredible. And while it's not the deepest story in the world, it makes you truly love the friendship between DK and Pauline. So after going through everything in this game with these two characters, this song plays and it's magical. So much so that it actually sounds like a Disney song. I could 100% hear this as if it was from one of the more recent 3D animated Disney movies like Tangled, either from the movie itself or in their own end credits. What do you mean not recent? Tangled was 15 years ago? I've had this song stuck in my head ever since I played Bonanza back in July. That was 7 months ago. I don't care if this is recency bias at this point, this ending is just that good. But there is one theme that I think is better than this when it comes to ending themes in video games. The best thing an ending can be, whether it's in a movie or a video game, is satisfying. When a piece gives you the sense of something being not just over, but completed. And the ending for Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations is just that. Now admittedly, one of the reasons this theme works so well is because of the narrative weight. The conclusion of not simply Phoenix Wright's story up to this point, but also Maya Fey and her family's story. This game also repeats this line every so often, the only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. And then right before the verdict of the game's final case, you get one of the best lines from my favorite character in the series, Godot. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Practically speaking, it's a very simple theme that repeats every so often with a few different parts here and there, while also including the Turnabout Sisters theme as a motif. The only thing that I would say is a detriment to this theme is the audio quality the Game Boy was capable of. Wait, what? An official orchestral version? To me, this will always be the greatest ending theme for any video game.
I don't have a watch on. I wonder... You've got to be freaking kidding me.